In the previous part of this lecture, we saw that the outbreak of the American Civil War was a function of the different physical geographies of the North and the South, and the ability of the North to extend its economic production further west and therefore create new states, whereas the South was unable to extend cotton production and plantation organization into the Southwest and the creation of new southern states. But what have been the long-term implications of this? In one regard, the New South is a fully integrated part of the United States. If we look, for example, at the National Highway Network, pictured here, we can see the heavy integration of transportation through the South and its integration in a national network of transportation and communication. Or if we look at the movement of labor, during the 1950s and 60s, there was massive migration of population from the southern United States to the factories of the upper Midwest, Detroit, Cleveland, Toledo, and western Pennsylvania. And conversely, later in the century and into the 21st century, there has been a migration from the north to the south to take advantage of the warmer climate and the lower energy costs. Again, suggesting an integration of population between north and south. Or finally, consider Walmart, the world's largest consumer business by far, originated and remains with its headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas. Again, an example of how the New South has been fully integrated into the national and international economies. However, when we look at the result of presidential elections, there is a persistent division between North and South, a division that has continued even while the domination of political parties has changed. This is demonstrated first by this map of the Electoral College in the most recent 2012 election, which shows that the Republican nominee, Mitt Romney, dominated in the former Confederate states of the South, whereas Barack Obama swept the former Union states in the North. This pattern of sectional division is neither new nor is it consistent by party. If we go back to the end of the 19th century, to the election of 1896, we see that the then Republican nominee, William McKinley, dominated in the North, whereas the Democrat, William Jennings Bryan, swept the South. And this domination of the Democratic Party in the southern United States continued for the next half century. The Democratic domination of the South continued even under a northern nominee, Jack Kennedy, who defeated Richard Nixon. And notice that Nixon is still able to carry, the Republican is still able to carry states in the North. The big shift in party domination occurred in the following election. The Republican nominee, Barry Goldwater, captured the majority of states in the old Confederate South, while a Southerner, Lyndon Johnson from Texas, lost the core of the Deep South, but was able to control the North. And that domination, that sectional distinction, has continued down to recent times. Consider even in the election of 1996 that the Southern Democrat, Bill Clinton, failed to hold the South over his Republican rival. Although Clinton was from Arkansas, he in fact lost a majority of the Confederate states. In other words, there has been a persistent regional identity and a distinction between North and South, which has continued even as the dominant party has changed from the Democrats controlling the South to now the Republicans controlling the South. This suggests that a deeper regional difference between North and South has persisted down to recent times.